Wow, so that's what that board looks like.
Yeah.
We've been hearing about it, but it was really crazy to see it in person.
And it feels like it's, I don't know, it could be a lot, like it seems like a layout for a lot more than just what it seems like on the surface level or something.
Yeah, there were so many spaces.
Yeah. Why were they all grouped together? Do they have to be touching? Is that something? Is it, you know what I mean?
And I can't, like, why does Nemesis get such a bias? Like, I don't understand why play a game if it's not a fair game. And how can we get ahead? I mean, it was interesting that finding pieces in person brought so many more points. Maybe there's something to that.
Yeah. I want to know who killed us and how this connects to all that. It just seems like there's something inherent there. Like, I feel like we don't know how to fully read the map even, or what the implications of it are.
Did you see his glove?
Yeah.
That dark glove, it kind of reminded me of the video of when I was sharded.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, so is this, like, I wonder how much influence Nemesis has over all of this, too.
Yeah, like...
And I didn't mean to be rooting for Resistance. Nothing against your Resistance, but, enlightened here. But I'm just rooting for any human being at this point, because I think we're just anti-Nemesis at this point. I don't, there's too much of a question mark to trust them, or...
Yeah.
And it just seems pretty nefarious and insidious. I don't know.
Yeah, well, since the agents found these tesserae, I think that maybe we should ask them some questions or open the field for their questions to us.
Absolutely. All right, agents.
Okay.
What do you got for us?
Vistor on Vistorian has a question for me. I have a question for Carrie. How did you feel when you discovered the civilization's self-destruct code? Okay. Well, honestly, I felt betrayed first, because I had been a really vocal proponent of the Shapers since I first heard about them, since joining Niantic, and I learned that they were using a self-destruct glyph sequence to destroy the whole of human civilization, and that sort of triggered a factional identity crisis for me. But then I learned why the Shapers were trying to destroy human civilization. They were trying to protect us from one of their ancient enemies. And sure, maybe, I'll be the first to admit that doing that to destroying us to prevent the return of the Nazir is a little bit like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. But
bathtub.
Thanks to help from you agents during the Cassandra Prime anomaly, we were able to counter the self-destruct sequence. That was really awesome. I love that teamwork. And I think after that, the Shapers learned their lesson. So by now, the Shapers seem to have figured out what they have a better chance against the Nazir with us at their side than not.
Mustafa said, my question is for Enoch. Is your 1218 counterpart released a series of audio tracks inspired by XM? Will you ever plan on creating and releasing an EP of your own? I'd love to hear your works. For some reason, Zeke Calvin didn't think to stock any instruments around, so I can't exactly get a Spotify or a Bandcamp going right now. But I think PAC may have left his guitar around here somewhere, so I'm trying to. Otherwise, we can just get some pots and pans and bang around. But his
guitar's here. You haven't found it yet.
I'm gonna try to find it before next time.
I'm gonna
get on that. I promise you. I'd love to. Play a tune next time. Thanks for asking, Agent.
All right, this is from Mike Trevis. Victoria said that she doesn't talk to Ada, but only with Omnivore. This means that the first time that Ada revealed herself was during the Wendy streaming? ? What is Omnivore doing for Niantic researchers?
Good question. So Omnivore is kind of like Siri out here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it crunches a bunch of data for us, and it serves as a vocal.
Numbers machine.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like it serves as like an interface for all the files that we have locally, and it's not exactly what you call sentient. It's like Siri. But you don't want to be mean to it or anything. But I guess it's kind of like all of us. We're all a work in progress, right?
Yeah.
And then as for Ada, Wendy's been having episodes since we got here, but it wasn't until her live stream that we had proof that Ada was behind them.
Yeah, it was rough.
This poor girl has been jerked around by both factions, and I just wish people would respect her right to own her own body. Not to get all political on you, but
yeah,
leave
it's
her
been
alone.
Intense.
Please.
Mario Valenzuela II. Hello, Carrie and Enoch. Do you have any words for the investigation community seeing that the tesserae is causing a schism and forcing us to work against each other? Okay, well, look, obviously I'm rooting for Enlightened, surprise, but if we don't win, I'd much rather see the Resistance win than Nemesis. we need to unite and be a team against this common enemy. Even if the tethered hand seems to be pitting us against each other, we really need to unite. But at least they're giving us a chance against nemesis, which is interesting. I'm still trying to figure the tethered hand out.
Yeah.
Okay, from JCat. I'm glad to say hello to you both. Hello.
Hi.
Carrie, I'd like to know the difference between nemesis runes and shaper's glyphs. This is a very good question. I am excited to tell you that answer. So, that's also something that Dr. Lightman and I have actually spent a lot of time thinking about since we've been trapped here with not a lot of other options. So there's some obvious differences. For starters, shaper glyphs are ideograms. This means they represent ideas and concepts, and they aren't specifically a language as such. I've hinted at this before. The nemesis runes do appear to be alphanumeric, part of a language. Most human languages are glottographic, which means they're based on spoken language, with letters designed to represent phonemes. But while the nemesis runes are most definitely a language, I've seen no indication that they were ever meant to be spoken aloud, which maybe tells us something about nemesis, maybe what kind of creatures they are.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they creatures? This makes the runes semi-cesiographic. They represent a written language only. Kagatai Karahan. Hey, Carrie. Hello. I am glad you returned back from death.
Me too, honestly.
Me too.
Yeah.
Or I should say, welcome back from Nemesis hands. Anyway, a little question. Can Nemesis access tessellation like us? We don't entirely know, but it seems like it, especially after the board today.
Yeah.
I mean, that they were playing with us or seemed to be playing with us. I feel like, I don't know, they were watching the stream
They
along
could be
with
watching
us.
the stream too,
to
yeah.
even be able to play.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to see. We don't know yet. Okay, from Impossible Truth. Do either of you have any theories or insights into what the nemesis runes may be capable of? Assuming they could function in a similar way to shaper glyphs, it's troubling to imagine the damage they could cause to non-sensitives as well as those in know about XM and all of this.
Absolutely.
Well, I know we've talked about this, and maybe agents have talked about this as well. That episode that I had during the Abaddon Prime anomaly, where I sort of glitched out for a few minutes and delivered that passcode necessary to unlock an Ingress mission called Enemy Mine. Well, we now know that this mission was designed to recruit agents into Nemesis, so it was much more dangerous than any of us understood at the time, and I'm pretty sure any of the agents understood at the time.
Yeah.
I feel like I let them down, but I was blacked out, so... I don't actually remember doing what happened that night, and thanks to agents who captured it, I was able to see that video. I do think that Nemesis used remote participation technology to access my body, which is interesting given that was something that I thought was only of our invention, that we were going to use to exit the anomalous bubble. We can talk more about that later. There's been some changes there, but I think one of the primary purposes of the Nemesis runes is that it makes you more susceptible to their RPE incursion. So for all of the agents that have found or seen any Nemesis runes, I would say be careful.
Yeah.
And then if I had to guess, I'd say Nemesis is using their runes in a similar fashion to the way the exogenists use glyphs. When it comes to the shapers, Enoch and I believe that they are using exotic matter to influence us in a positive way. But I don't think anyone believes that to be the case with Nemesis.
No, there's no evidence for that.
I hope that's clear. I know that can be confusing. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, well, okay, and we can talk about this more, but right now Dr. Cruz and Wendy are working on a way to prevent the Nemesis RPE from incursing on our bodies and anyone's. So, I really wouldn't feel completely safe until those safeguards are in place. That's what safeguards are for.
Catalina Reyes to Enoch. In what way does XM affect your compositions? Oh, this is fun. Do you feel the music is channeled to you, or do you have bursts in which a piece of music appears in your head? Or does it just seem to accelerate your creative process? How is XM enhancing music composition different from the normal way you compose music without XM enhancement? This is a great question, one I thought about a lot of times on XM and off XM. So I like to think a bit of my inspiration comes from me, also the people around me, and I know for a fact that a lot of it comes from the shapers, and I don't really mind it. I think like I feel fortunate, and I feel like I get to express what I'm feeling and what they're feeling, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a symbiotic relationship, or like a channeling or something when you think of it. And yeah,
it's really stunning to witness it too.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just like there's no added information on XM, but XM is its own information. I don't know how to explain it. It sounds like tripper logic when I go too far into it. So.
All right, this one's from Falco Bird.
Who was responsible for the Chicago Abaddon Prime media drops? They were critical in our ability to decipher the nemesis runes. Okay, so the only thing we can say for sure is that it wasn't any of the Niantic project researchers. We would have if we could have, but we can't, so we won't. And at this point, most of us were just running for our lives, honestly. Real question is, as we see it, is like, will decoding the nemesis runes turn out to be helpful or turn out to be harmful in the long run? Like, based on what Carrie and Lightman discovered, engaging with the runes may be exactly what nemesis wants us to do. So it might just be easier for them to control us, you know what I mean? So that's just food for thought there.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one from Kagate Karahan. Hope I got that right. We are still holding the media objects from field tests. Nice. Is there any upcoming field tests or any other events we can fight against Nemesis? Also, should we still hold these media objects? Yeah, I think you're right to ask this question for sure. I think in general, whether it's the artifacts from the field tests or the tessellation themselves, as long as you take a screen grab of them, you should be good. I think it should be fine for you to purge it from your inventory if you need to clear up that space. I know your storage space in the scanner is limited. Hello, Carrie and Enoch, says B. Graka. What is the best melody that defines Nemesis?
Oh, I love this question.
Oh, it's a painful one.
Okay, so we only have so much time on the stream to address it, but let me just give you like Reader's Digest, Cliff Notes, Spark Notes version of it here. I'll try to send another transmission soon and give a more detailed description, but at this point, I very much believe that there is a unique melody that defines each and every one of us. Every one of us. And it has to do a lot with the concept of harmonic resonance. And actually has quite a bit of relevance to XM research. So since we've been trapped here, I've managed to find songs that define the Niantic project researchers. So in answer to your question, I don't know what songs define Nemesis or the members of Nemesis, but I do believe that those songs exist, those melodies, those combinations of compositions and notes. So I believe that if we could figure that out, that would give us some degree of power to trust them. I don't know, or at least some understanding of them. I'm going to keep working on it. I'm working on it. I promise. Thank you, B. Graka. I'm coming back for you. I promise.
And I am on no path to trusting them right now. So for now, we're just going carefully. All right, Ruin Dig. This is a question to both of us, Enoch and Carrie. Who killed you both? Myriad, Aurora, or other Nemesis members?
This is a great question.
Okay, so I didn't realize that the names we were seeing in the
is that Umbra?
Transmittance today were people. So thank you, Agent, for helping us sort of match that. Okay, so these are names of Nemesis members, we think, so far? Okay.
Yeah, we're hoping the tessellation is going to tell us, honestly.
Yeah, and in terms of who killed us, we don't know.
And if it says who killed Victoria, it said who killed Lightman, I mean, maybe then we're going to pop up next. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah, that would be
who
great.
Who killed Carrie? Who killed Enoch? So we're really going to be tuned in for that one, I think.
Yeah, wow, so that's interesting. Like, it was almost like each section was titled by the name of a Nemesis member.
I wonder if that's what Umbra was too.
So did that have something to do with what happened on the game at that time? Was a consequence or a prediction of something that member did?
Agents, your guess is as good as ours right now, yeah.
I think that This is telling me how much we need you agents.
Yeah, you need to solve
we feel
these
really
clues.
stuck in a bubble. We feel pretty
You know, one of the
out of
tesserae,
control.
to me, it seemed like maybe it's a physical drop. Like maybe it's a physical drop, like it's out there. I don't know. This is something we can't do here in the anomalous bubble.
And
We
those
need
drops, like when we were playing, like on the board, they had such weight to them.
Yeah.
You know, in moving toward a more balanced outcome or a victory. I really hope, agents, that you see the seriousness of this task, and that is going out and finding more tesserae in physical drops, in person.
Maybe.
I wonder how many are out there. I mean, if we could find enough, I think we could beat Nemesis in this tessellation.
I just think we need you because we're stuck in, you know, you can't see it from the inside out.
Yeah,
There's nothing we can do from here.
Yeah, I mean, the most...
Oh.
Absolutely.
Wait. Oh, we got a meeting coming up with the researchers right
yeah.
now. Okay.
I wonder if they saw what we did. Okay.
Thank
oh my
you
gosh,
all
thank
again.
You guys for
thank
your
you for
help.
joining us.
Questions were so good.
Just keep at it, agents.
Keep at it, and
we'll do the same.
If we find more intel, we'll let you know, and we'll follow you guys if anything pops up.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Bye.